So, what's one reason why we shouldn't take anything personal? Well, honestly, I can think of several reasons, but I don't really feel like it's worth going too far in depth with. Because, for one, whatever offended you in this giving time, it's already come to pass. It doesn't even matter. I remember one time or another, as a lot of people do growing up, when they've had friends, coworkers, or in some cases even their own relatives, say or do something that infuriated or pissed them off. One way this applied to me was when I wanted to be accepted by a certain group of friends. And I was always the butt of the joke, and whenever I showed that it bothered me, they would always say, "Calm down, man, we're just fucking with you." Even though I knew they weren't, because it's not really hard to tell after a while. So, as a result of this, I can easily tell if someone's condescending or if they're actually joking with me. Now, I'm fortunate to have friends and acquaintances who are decent people. Another time was when a friend of mine had a relative pass away in his family. I think it was one of his grandparents or something. But anyway, from my understanding, he was a great grandson and he never disrespected his elders or anything. He would always see them at get togethers, visit them when they were in town, thank them for all the birthday cards and all that stuff. And overall, he was always very polite from what I've seen. Then one day we were hanging out and he told me, "Alex, I'm pretty upset, man." And I said, "Why? What's going on?" Then he said, "Well, I just want to go visit my grandma with my parents so we could keep her company and help ease her through the grieving." And she said something that kind of got to me. And I said, "What was that?" And he said, "Well, we were talking about family, and she mentioned grandpa at one point in the conversation. She said, I never really got to know him because I was doing my own thing, whatever that means." Then I said, "Why would she say that to you? I mean, your family too, and you're one of the nicest and most polite people I know." He said, "Well, I still feel like I could have called him more and all that, but I mean, he was kind of doing the same thing, so I don't know why she would feel the need to tell me that." So I said, "Look, dude, you can't take that shit to heart. It's really not worth your time to dwell on, and you know you're not that type of person to begin with." And he said, "Well, I don't get why people have to say that kind of stuff." "Well," I said, "regardless, it doesn't matter. If you have decent people in your family, then they would understand. It's not your job to explain yourself all the time, and I'm sure they wouldn't do it for you if they weren't obligated. Like, I'm not trying to turn you guys against each other, but it is what it is. You can't control how people are, so don't get yourself upset over something that's out of your hands." And after I said that, he seemed to take that to heart. And from then on, the rest of the night just consisted of boneless wings, beer, and laughs. So you get the picture. Whether or not someone meant any harm in their own words or actions, you can't control how they're going to look at you or how they're going to treat you because their perception is completely different from yours. And you know what kind of person you are, so it really doesn't matter. So, the best advice I can give for anyone to apply this is to handle situations as you see fit. I mean, you know better than anyone else. And most importantly, you know what kind of person you are, whether they realize it or not.